are going to make the polar bear. All right, so in your kit, you were given 3 paints, white, black, and a color. Whether it's blue, red, or green, that's going to be the color of our scarf. Primarily right now, we're going to work with white and black. And what we're going to do before we even start, you're going to need a pencil. You'll need some paper towels and a little thing of water to start with. So we're just going to use the pencil right now because I want to draw our nose before we even start. So I'm going to take my little snout. I'm going to push everything. I'll leave it aside. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a really big nose. So I'm going to draw like a wide V. And then I'm going to connect the top of the V with just like a curved line. So there is our nose. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to put 2 coats of white on everything. Our body, our feet, our snout. I'm just going to go around the nose. So we're just going to do 2 coats on everything. So let's start painting. So you're going to just need white right now. 2 coats. I did the edges too as best you can, but you want to do those edges just so, because when you stand it up, if you do the edges, it'll look great. So what we're going to do, we just don't want it to be flat white. We're going to add a little texture. So right now, I've kind of been mixing paints a little. I'm going to make a light gray. And what I'm going to do, I'm taking my bigger brush and we're just going to add texture to our polar bear. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that light gray and just all around, I'm just going to add like little brush strokes randomly to add a little texture. You want the gray to be so light that it's really hard to tell the difference between the white and the gray. You'll only tell the difference when you look really close. So if something gets too dark, let it dry a little bit and then put white on top of it. This is just going to help add texture so it looks like the polar bear is covered in fur, which he is. Don't forget to do a little on your snout as well as your feet. And it's really just a little subtle gray. All right, so while this is drying, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some black. I'm not even washing my brush, and I'm going to put black. It's going to make like a dark gray into the middle of my ear. I'm just going to put a little in both ears, and then I'm going to wash my brush. And then taking little short strokes, I'm just going to kind of blend that in. Just in the middle of the ear. So then we have a little ear for our bear. Alright, so while that's all drying, put that aside to dry a little. I'm going to work on my nose. I could kind of see where I drew. Not that well, so I'm going to just, with my brush, and you should do this with your small brush. Let me put that big brush away. With your small brush, you're just going to make a nose. And my white is still a little wet, but that's okay, because it's going to make like a dark gray. My little nose, we'll let that dry a little and then we'll add a little light reflection. Next, we could take our feet, and what we could do with our feet, we could make paws. So using my smaller brush, I am going to draw like little paws. I'm going to do them in black. So I'm going to do a big oval followed by 3 smaller ones. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do that on each foot. And then I'm just going to fill those in. And you could use your little bigger brush to fill it in. And it's going to get gray, but that's okay. My 2 little paws. So I'm gonna let this all these pieces, I don't know how it look. I'm gonna let all these pieces dry for a couple minutes. Then we're gonna come back. We're going to make our scarf, and then we'll glue our pieces, and then we'll make our eyes. So when you come back, you're gonna need that additional color. I have green, you might have blue, purple, red, whatever you have. We're gonna need that color. Kit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a green scarf right now. So I'm just going to take my bigger brush, mix around that green a little, and what I am going to do is I'm just going to make a curved line right around the neck. And once I have that curved line, I'm just going to make this a little bit wider. I'm actually going to lighten my green a little bit with some white, and I'm just going to make that just a little wider. My feet, and then what I'm going to do once I have that scarf, I'm going to add like a tail on that scarf. So my white is still a little wet. You want to wait till it's mostly dry. Mine's pretty much dry, but looks good to me. And then I'm going to add 2 little tails, just like that. Once I have my little tails, now you could add other colors if you have other acrylic paints to your scarf. I am just going to add with my small brush. I'm going to make a really, I have to wash my small brush. I'm going to make a really, really light green, lighter than what I have. And I am going to make little tassels at the end of my scarf. So I'm just going to take that light green and just add like little lines coming down from that scarf. And then I'm going to use the back of the paintbrush, and just with some green, I'm going to put some green dots. So it like looks like a little tassel. Beautiful. I am going to let all of that dry for a bit, and then we're going to come back and glue some things, and then we'll make our eyes when dried a bit. And what we are going to do is we are going to glue our nose next. So I'm just going to put a little glue on the back of the snout. A little goes a long way, you don't need too much. And I'm going to glue him down. And then I'm going to kind of move him. And what we're going to do, we're going to make our eyes next. And we're going to use our pointer finger to make our eyes. My hands are a little painty. So I'm going to dip this finger in some black paint. And right above the nose, I'm going to make one. I'm going to kind of make them close together. 2 little eyes. Once I make those 2 little eyes, it looks cute already, I'm going to glue my feet down. And my little bit of my scarf gets knocked off, but that's okay. You just want to make sure like everything is flat when the bottom of it's kind of flat. So when it does dry, you could easily stand it up because it is a standing bear. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna add a little light reflection in our nose and in our eyes. We're gonna work on our nose first because it is almost all dry. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna take the back of your paintbrush, dip it in some white, and then on the right side, I'm just gonna put a little line. A little line of paint. All right. Then I am going to, in each eye, you wanna make sure your eyes are kind of dry. You're gonna put a little white dot. And this will only work if your eyes are dry. So then we have our polar bear, and you are just gonna let him dry for a couple hours, and then he'll be all ready to sit wherever you'd like, in your room or as decorations for the winter. All right, I hope you had a good time painting with me and have a happy winter.